tons of adversity, even going into the game with injuries and guys playing different positions and not being able to play and not able to practice and somehow figuring out a way to win. And then, we made errors that typically we're not going to do. And when you're playing a good football team like Northern Iowa, to fumble 2 kickoff returns and some of the other things, you just kept on looking at the clock going, okay, how long are we going to be able to hang around here? And this team has got a great belief in each other, focus and resolve. And, I know it sounds like an old cliche, but that's exactly how we won the football game.
So questions?
Tell me about that fourth quarter drive. Did you go back thinking about Kansas State at all, that, hey, we got the ball and 6 minutes to go?
Yeah, I kept on thinking about that, and then when we scored so fast, I went, wow, I know the defensive coaches were saying we scored too fast. This group of guys, nothing breeds success like success and confidence as opposed to past experiences. And in that case, I think our guys had a great sense that, okay, at this time of the game, fatigue comes into play. We felt like we were a little bit fresher at that time, and we could come up with a drive. I didn't think we'd score as fast as what we did, but we knew we were going to be in 4 downs every time, and that was a big scoring drive.
Coach, on that 4th and 1 when you decided to go for it, was there any ever question about maybe we should punt or kick a field goal here?
Well, they'd been really good in the past as far as blocks, and a 50-yard field goal, typically you got to drive the football. And we'd been mindful. We'd had 1 block last week, the trajectory of the ball. And so there was a measured decision on my part. Felt like we weren't going to gain that much by punting it. We could have a shot to pin it, but felt good about where we're at that time. And I thought Northern Iowa did a great job stopping us on the play.
Late in the game, did you see something from their true freshman cornerback that you thought you might be able to go after?
CJ?
No, the U9.
No, we were just moving the ball around. It just so happened that a couple of things got dialed up.
What happened there in the fourth quarter? How were you able to turn it around and kind of change the pace of this game?
Well, I think a lot of times teams begin to change in the fourth quarter. And as I said earlier, conditioning comes into play. When pad levels start to raise up a little bit, that opens up your running game. And we've been pretty successful in the past being able to really run the football later in the game. And so that helped. And, then also the momentum, the crowd was phenomenal. And our players had as I said, they got in the fourth quarter, when they put those 4 fingers up, there's a great deal of past history that we're going to get this game won.
How big was Tyler Gimmelstead coming back in the game? How about that, man?
Phenomenal. I don't know how he did it. We're going to only use him in an emergency case, and we didn't think we could even have him in that. And but he had good movement in there and was able to go in and play, so it was huge. We were down to our last guys there.
What was wrong with him?
Strained meniscus.
When did that happen?
During the week of practice.
And he also, Colville?
Yeah. Colville's got in an accident last night. Car accident, yeah.
Car accident?
Yeah.
What was wrong?
He had a big cut over his eye and had concussion symptoms.
I didn't think it wasn't going to be your day.
Oh yeah, then when our top kickoff returner fumbles on the first play, yeah, it was going to be a bad hair day. I can tell you that.
Did you have a sense that as well then, Dudzik fumbles, that you work so hard to get back into it and then that play happens?
Well, you know that you're only going to be able to dodge so many bullets. And but as long as we could keep the game within a possession or two, the one scoring drive actually before the last one, I thought that was really key.
The biggest takeaway from this game that, no matter all the lack of execution on certain plays that you usually do, you were still able to stay in this game with number 14 in the nation and were able to keep yourself in a position to win it.
Yeah, I think that it says a lot about our football team. I think it says a lot about our fans and our program where we're at right now. You can't do this very often, but it was certainly a memorable game that I'll never forget.
Craig, your thoughts on Northern Iowa after playing them face-to-face?
Well, they're a very physical football team. David Johnson is a tremendous running back. and they've got great schemes. They're well coached. It's one of these games that it's going to come down to a possession here or there, and great competition. When you have 1 against 4, I think that's exactly what we got this afternoon.
The ball on number 16 hands, he'll never wow you statistically, but in the fourth quarter, what is it about him?
I think he's a champion. He's got a tremendous amount of confidence as far as being able to make plays late in the game. That's probably was formed when he was even in high school, and he's been able to do that throughout his career here. And late in the fourth quarter, you just know Brock's going to figure out a way to move the chains and get the ball in the end zone.
You mentioned to me on Monday you thought this would be a playoff game. Did it live up to the hype on your?
Yes,
yeah?
this was a playoff game. That's a great football team that we beat here this afternoon. I don't know how it's all going to shake out. We're in a really tough conference. I know we sustained some injuries. I know Coach Farley's son broke his leg, which I was really sorry that happened. But it was a hard-fought game, and we're fortunate to win. And as we go through, we'll see how playoff pictures come out. But I can tell you, this group here that we played, this is about as good as anybody.
Injuries, you had more injuries?
There's so many, Jeff. It's a mass unit in there. I don't know where we'll be. If you give me a call tomorrow or Monday, I'd have a better idea.
C.J. Smith seems to be rising to the occasion. Tell me about his performance today, especially at the end.
Yeah, that last interception, shoot on Tuesday, he had his shoulder dislocated. It was out for about a half hour. He couldn't even move. And so I thought, it's going to be a long time before he's able to play again. And for him to come out and play the way he did and make the last interception was a great effort. And he's a good player.
Time for about one more question. We have Northern Iowa with.
Coach, can you just talk about the running game? You were able to open some things up on the ground. You started with Crockett, and then at the end of the game,
Right.
Sam kind of closed it.
Well, that comes into the play of being able to stay within enough possessions that, late in the game, that's usually whenever we'll ever run the ball most effectively. Thanks a lot.